Welcome everyone to week 4 of OpenNet. Today we have a lineup of amazing clips and plays, as well as a sneak peek to our new incoming bot system. I'll let my desks introduce themselves.
Yes, I am Desk. I am here. My name is Desk.
That's number one.
I'm back. Everybody already knows.
Yeah, why are we
I'm everybody's
reintroducing
favorite.
ourselves? Everyone knows us.
My bad.
Everybody knows who we are. Come on,
did we not exist in the first place? Come on.
No, you
We're
never
the
did.
OGs.
We left for 2 weeks, and you think Fallen's gonna make them forget about us?
Sorry, I mean,
Fallen didn't say anything
Fallen.
memorable. Come on.
That's not happening. Come on, we ain't allowed that at all. Come
I
on.
don't know. My bad. All right. Well, given that, all right. Now that we know everyone here, let's start talking about week 2's notable matches and highlights.
Yeah,
So-
it's been. Let me tell you this. It's been an absolutely wild week. Like they say that the first match in a series doesn't define how the whole series is going to go, and you saw that happen a lot, like going on through the worlds in this past couple weeks. But like, you want to talk about that? Week 1 does not define how the whole season is going to go. We saw teams that absolutely dominated in week 1 get absolutely blown out in week 2. And I'll get to that in a little bit with my AL stuff that I kind of want to talk about. But like, it was absolutely wild. There was rank outs, there was match losses, there was complete turns around, so much moving around the leaderboard. It was absolutely wild.
And it was also kind of like interesting to see like some teams kind of like take different routes when starting. Seeing like some teams just put their best lineup in, but as a result, they had a guy rank out. Or we saw teams like I saw like in PL and ML, they play a really low end lineup and they just get obliterated week 1. You're kind of like, why would you just do that and just throw kind of your division matches under the bus and have to basically climb out now for the rest of the season? So there was definitely a lot to go over. But I mean, I think league by league, I think we're going to see a similar trend where teams definitely had different approaches to how they wanted to start the season off.
Absolutely. So let's get into it. So the first match I wanted to talk about in FL was the Elite versus the Bulls. Their twos match was just an incredible lineup. As you can see, we have Sinister, Colt Koala, BC Fluffy, and Idobat. And their lowest MVPR there was a 4.06. Even though it was a 4-1 series, go Elite there. We had the lowest as a 4.06, and I think that's incredible. That's an amazing series. That's high scoring. That's everyone's doing a fun job, amazing no matter what. You know, and then we have at the top Sinister with a 6.28, which I believe was the highest MVPR of the weekend.
Yeah, that was a really fun series to like see happen. Definitely something that you want to look forward to in the coming season, especially for the Elite and the Bulls. Both of them are going to grow up to be great teams. Especially when we get to the play-ins at the early late after postseason, whatever you want to call it, because we're barred from saying certain things. So like I'm gonna transition that, and we're gonna caveat right into what I want to talk about, the Knights. So we all know the story of the Knights. During the draft, they had 15 picks. They traded down to 5 picks across 5 leagues. And they got 3 picks in 1 league. So it means in some leagues they didn't even get a pick. It was absolutely mind blowing to like see that. I'm like, okay, so like, how is this going to turn out for the Knights, right? And so I played the Knights week 1, and me and the Spartans absolutely blew them out of the water. We 5-0'd them. The games were close. There were a couple overtimes, but in the end, we still came out on top. So, like, looking at week 2, I was curious. I'm like, I kind of want to see how this kind of affected them in the late season. I come to a very real realization that the reason that we did not lose any games to them in week 1 is because none of their high sals played. We played the 11-5s and the 10-5s because they came out versus the Express, and we're like, okay, we just took a 5-0 loss. So we're going to play the 3 best players we have. And lucky for the Knights and Carrazzo, they have 3 12 salary players in AL. They put all of them against the Express and absolutely blew them out of the water. There was no saving that series. The Knights played absolutely exceptionally. Unfortunately, I didn't get a hold of the replays, but I would have loved to see like the highlights from those games, because you've got on the Express, you've got Obfu, who's a CL rank down. You've got Royalty, who's a 12-5 who didn't play, but like you've got a lot of really heavy hitters on that team that Matt Damon, for example, that is just absolutely goated in AL. There's no way that the Knights didn't have like a close game, and the games were 1 or 2 goal games, but from what I have been told around the water fountain and the drinking fountain is that it wasn't close. So that was my huge highlight for this week, and congrats to the Knights they broke even in threes for AL standard, but I'm going to really look forward to keeping an eye on them for the rest of the season.
Yeah, piggybacking on that, I mean, it's incredible to see that they just 5-0'd the Express. The Express was a higher team on our power rankings from the beginning, thinking that they would be amazing in almost every league. And seeing that they just got 5-0'd by the Knights, who was a team who we put in almost as a D and F tier every single league, that's an incredible feat for them.
Oh yeah, it's a huge turnaround. It's incredible. They came all the way around full circle. They went 0-5 one week and 5-0 the next week. And so now we're going to be looking at week 3 coming up this weekend, and then we got week 4 after that, and then we have a week 5 and then a bye week, or a bye week and then week 5. I forget exactly how it goes.
I believe it's week 4 and then a bye week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but adding on to your point, these are the weeks where it really matters in like AL and CL and those type of leagues, because this is where your foundation is going to be built, especially against those division rivals, which you're going to see again. You're going to have to face them again, whether depending on what their lineup may be at that time or who's ranked out by then. You're going to have to reface them, and that could be for a potential division like champ, or it could be for a wild card spot. So those are big matchups to look, and that will come way more impactful down the road.
Luke's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Seeing what's coming up here is just going to lead into what's going on further on in the series. The league. Moving on from AL, I'm going to talk about the Sabres and the Foxes twos match. So this twos match was just incredible. The lowest goals for a single person was 9. Everyone had at least 9 goals in the series. The lowest MVPR was a 5.7. And you could just tell that it was a neck and neck series, because it was a 3-2 win for the Sabres. Congrats to the Sabres there. But not only that, but there was a total of over 100 shots on goal in the entire series.
Wow.
So you can tell it was a very, very attacking game. Not much defense was played, but by God, that was an incredible matchup.
It really was, like, in my personal horrible unvalued opinion, 9 goals minimum is like, that just means that teams are really good offensively and they're really good first and second mans, but they don't know how to rotate back on defense. So like, I don't know about that. Like, all it takes, like, you can play really cracked high scoring games, but like, I'm not a big fan of high scoring games. I like the really close games and the 1 and 2 goal games, because those are really close, because you have teams that have skills on both ends. As soon as, the Sabres or Foxes end up against a team that has a really good defense, they are going to crumble, because they played another team that had a really good offense, and their defenses were both lacking. So there was a high scoring game, but the offensive team that has a really good defense or has one really good third man will ultimately be the downfall of either of those teams.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely,
for sure. And now I guess I'll take that away and go into the ML, because again, CL and ML, we've been talking about, a transition with the new, rank system, and it's clearly shown. I mean, some of the players who have become the top of their leagues have shown. And a great example is the ML series, which is the Pandas and the Sharks. Very interesting series. This was their standards match. And again, these were 2 teams where they had guys who didn't end up breaking up the PL, that you were like, these guys could be a catalyst for their team to make a run this season. And Aluzai for the Pandas was a big reason why. 4.91 MVPR. He had a teammate who had below a 2 MVPR. And this series was back and forth. Every game except game 2 was a 1-goal game, which the game 2 being a 2-goal game. I mean, every game was so back and forth. And we got to see older names in the scene really make an impact. On the Sharks, it was Zaida and Addy and Big Q. All 3 guys who they've played together for a while. And you were kind of like, okay, y'all are staying together. Y'all are making we could tell you're making a team where you know each other. How are you going to come back from that and rebuild from that? And they came just short. I mean, the whole team played better, But I'll lose Zion, man. He's a good big guy. I'm really intrigued to see how long he'll stay in ML for, because the Pandas are going to need him as much as they can, because he's going to be their big catalyst and big kind of carry to get him as good of a record as they can before that inevitable rank out happens. But it's those type of series where you're just going back and forth, back and forth. The Pandas, I mean, they traded every single game, but the Pandas just held that kind of clutch factor and came up when it mattered most in that game 7. I mean game 5, not game 7, game 5. And that's the type of thing that, like, later in the season, I'm intrigued to see how these teams end up looking when they rematch each other, because clearly they're setting the tone for kind of a long division rivalry.
Yeah, it's the rivalries are the biggest thing that make the league that much fun, because it adds that little bit element of like spice to your play, where like now you're not playing just to have fun. Now you're not playing just to play, or you're not playing just to hit clips. You are playing for bragging rights, and you are playing for clout. And it's like, it just fuels everything. And it's so good, because like I was teammates with another player in a league, and we play on a team in another league together. And now coming into this league, now we're division rivals on opposite teams. And now we've been talking about this. We've been talking about this coming match. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, Royalty, I'm coming for you. I'm not losing to you. Not this week. Not ever again. I am coming for you. You're going to lose.
Do we need to get him on here? We need a segment, just like one-on-one with y'all two or something. Y'all two clear some beef that we got.
The whole segment is just gonna be a 1v1 of fresh.
Yeah. Maybe we just need to make a segment where it's, instead of like if we do guess the ring game, it's just y'all's 1v1, and we have to guess who's who.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we do.
Default colors, no names.
We're just gonna run it instead of guess the salary. We're gonna run a segment called beef.
And then you just have to guess which player, and we're just gonna trash one side, and we'll have to see if it's fresh or not.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully. It's fresh.
But going into that, I'll take it back again. Going into PL, the first 2 weeks, a lot of surprises. Again, when you come to higher level lobbies, you have players who thrive a lot more in one rank the other. Again, standard, a lot different than a lot of doubles ranks. We didn't really have a team where like they were just good in both. There was one was very good in 2s, one was very good in 3s, and it was kind of not a lot of teams that really had that threshold. If you did, then they're clearly the top right now, and by a decent amount, in my opinion. But the big match I wanted to highlight was the Blizzard and the Hurricane. Or wait, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. I am all over the place. It's the Blizzard and the Spartans. It was a standard match that actually happened not that long ago. It was a week 2 match. And it was a very interesting match because the Blizzard not have a great week 1. They had a very poor week 1. And Spartans, where everyone was saying that's going to be the team to beat. You got Kilt. You got Knuckle. Vizim, who's really proven himself, or Vizum, who's really come out of his shell. I think I've been a star player for that roster. And you were like, okay, Blizzard, you have to prove yourself. And they ended up taking the series 3-2 as well. The last 2 games being 1 goal, last 3 games being 1 goal games. And it really just felt like they took the momentum at the end of this, at like the end of the series. They kept trading games back and forth like the other series in ML, but this one was a lot more of like a neutral game. Every player contributed their part. For example, Nit, he didn't really do a lot of the scoring for the Blizzard. He only had 1 goal, but he had 10 saves to his name. And that's the type of thing that you need. You need to know your roles when you're in PL in these higher leagues. Know who's going to be the scorer. Know who's going to be the guy who's going to have to be the safe haven that you fall back on. And I think it's going to be very important to see how this roster ends up doing it. Uno Seis, who actually was the 18 side they have been playing this week, ended up outperforming Nit MVPR-wise. And that's another thing to look at in this match, saying, hey, let's see how he does down the road, because you're going to be the guy that we need salary-wise, since we have 320s already, and that's going to be interesting to see. And on the other hand, Spartans, not a good look. I mean, everyone's saying this was the team to beat, and they lose to a team that everyone was saying was overrated by a lot of PL players. So that happens, and now you're kind of like, okay, either the players in the PL community are clearly underrating the Blizzard, or the Spartans need to figure something out. Because, again, this looks like their best roster. I mean, Knuckle, Kilt, and Vizum. So clearly it's going to be interesting to see how they bounce back from that. 2 top-tier lineups. And I think this is going to be definitely matches we'll see down the road, like it's exact lineup-wise as well.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. The Spartans are just goated. We're the best. Like,
are you not? You're wearing a Shadow jersey right now.
I know. I can't afford a Spartans jersey yet.
Okay.
Yeah. We need you to fund this man.
Yeah. Hop off the bandwagon, Fresh. Hop off.
No, I will support my boys. The boys. in red, they're just goated. I've talked to Vazoom, like when I first got drafted, all of us came into the channel together. Vazoom is an absolutely awesome player. He did in-houses with us one night. It was absolutely, he just reset double tap me like it was nothing, and it was just
he's just
goated, honestly.
He's a very mechanical player.
One thing I'd like to mention is I believe they played their twos, the Blizzard for Spartans. I believe they played their twos like pretty quickly after, because right after, if you check, iTrash from the Spartans got a 6.67 MVPR with 27 shots and 14 goals. So they did bring it back with a 3-2 win in twos.
Yeah, they were upset. They didn't want to lose that. They're like, we're gonna lose a Blizzard in both modes. Absolutely not. There's some pride on the line for these PL players. I know that they take it to heart, no matter whether they play in one match or another.
Makes sense. Absolutely.
It's gonna be interesting to see.
All right, moving on from that, we have Player of the Week clips presented by Balls Guarana.
Yeah, we do. We finally, guys, we brought it back.
Yeah.
You asked for it. We made it happen. We begged Lychee on our hands and knees.
Balls.
Please let us do this again. It was so much fun the first time. And we're also like going to confirm it's just back to the way it was during season 12. The winner does get a case of Balls Guarana sent to their house. Emily will contact you about it. Yeah. The power that we have on this show is immeasurable. So
it is amazing.
Without further ado, let's get. I'm so excited to get this back up.
I'm so excited.
4 shots here, and only one of the demolition shots here has not been a goal
off
so
the
far
ceiling.
This game. And
Musty.
Oh wow!
Down and, oh my goodness!
Man,
get this man a contract to Ghost Gaming. Like just absolutely cracked. There was absolutely no reason to do that to the comments, but he did it anyway.
Makes you wonder.
With the 7-0 lead. All right, Scripps. Hop into RLTS already. Okay, we know. We can see you. Enough of that.
I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but I hear SSG is looking for a player.
Come on, man. Wait till we get to guess the player at least. Come on, we got a lot on the schedule tonight. Come on.
We all know Reddles couldn't pull that off.
That's gonna be a hard. It's a good shot. I mean, I honestly thought that'd be the winner. Honestly, it's a really good shot. I mean, that's a hard shot to hit. You don't see PL players hit that a lot either. So it's gonna be. I hope it wins. It's a good shot. Again, these layer ones probably have to be even better if they're going to top a Musty double, because it's really hard to hit. So,
I mean, we're also pitting AL players and ML players against PL players. So you have to put it in retrospect. Like this was absolutely cracked for an AL player to pull off. He left the ground as second man. Like that's a huge improvement from what you're typically used to seeing.
Yeah. Has he ranked out yet? I think we should see a rank out just for that clip.
Yeah, honestly,
has been signed to former player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay, so let's see this next clip coming up.
He's going to take it around one, but Papa Lucy meets him there. Sharp's going to go for a redirect here. He pops it up for a pass. Papa Lucy is up, but that's a double from the Lightning, and no one is back for Eclipse. And there's a pinch all the way backward
the
to
pinch
net
shots are always absolutely great because
was that a double
I remember watching
or
this
was
live
that a planned pinch
because my ramen because I was like, oh my goodness, they actually hit that. And like I don't know, like that might not have been like fully planned ahead of time. There weren't like, all right, like going up the backboard, come for a pinch, but they just like happened to double commit on the backboard, and one of them was like pinch it, and they just went for it, and it flew all the way down.
That is 90%
props to the Lightning for actually pulling that
if
off.
that happened to me, I would be so upset. I'd be like, that is, you try to do that 100 times, you wouldn't be able to do it. It's just, it only happens when it accidentally happens. It's just one of those plays where like you watch it, you're like, that's impressive. I mean, if that was a serious goal, I'd lose my mind. But I mean, it's gonna be hard. I'm still looking at a script shot, man. It's gonna be hard to top that, and that definitely is capable of doing it for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's move on to the next clip. Clip number 3.
And here's Cordial up for it. Trying to keep the pressure, but Lightning really is just trying to keep pressure compared to Eclipse, but Eclipse is going to tell me that I am wrong as Scarf scores his second goal in the series.
AL rank out from last season. Another pinch goal down to the corner. That's just
Book's going to beat him.
Oh, we do. But you know what we really love more than that? Double commits, honestly.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. It's more of like, do you compliment them for getting a cool pinch, or are you more like, why did you double? That wasn't your touch, Sharp. That was not your touch, but it worked out.
Like, where's the comms? Where's the comms, boys? Where's the comms?
Yeah, we need comms. We just like Space Station comms. We need some for MLE matches. We will make that a segment and comment on them.
Honestly, I want to see the quietest match of MLE where like there's the least amount of comms. That is something I would like to see.
Honestly, it'll probably be some PL lobbies. I feel like you'd probably see in some PL lobbies because they're just like, don't talk to me, I'm focused. Take it way too seriously. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Alrighty, and it looks like we have one more contender for the play of the week.
Yeah, we got one more. Let's roll it.
Batman has a reigning MVP crown because that is just another play that should be going in. But Mile finds the touch.
He jumped for that 3 years ago. The anticipation he had in the comms that take that. Like, look, the ball hadn't even bounced off of the top of the net, right over Notorious. Already in the motions of going up for that ball. That's just a high IQ play, and that's a very, very talented play. Also, Mile ranked out of AL, so I'm glad that I don't have any chance of running into him in the playoffs again.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think it's interesting to see because, like, to be honest, like, you see that happen, and, like, to be able to make those reads like that and kind of, like, predict it, it's really hard when you get higher up the level, especially with how the pace that ball was going at. So, I mean, it's a good read, especially for the rank they are. I mean, you shouldn't – that's not something I would expect someone at that level to hit. I'd be more of like, oh, I'm going to wait. And then it says in my net, and I'm like, oh, I don't think he'd hit that again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the way he was dancing around in the air with his arrow, it's really hard to control your arrow when you're learning it and you have it on your bumpers and stuff. So just seeing that, it's incredible.
Absolutely.
But yeah, now I believe we have our voting.
Yeah, we do. Right? We have voting up. I also would like to say that I forgot that the clips weren't just clips, and they were actually clips of like the casting. So my talking over the clips and casting it was like absolutely horrific. So I'm sorry for everybody's eardrums for that. Yeah, they are casted clips from the mainstream.
I kid you not, chat. We actually legit did this like practice where it already played, and we heard this. So I do not know why Fresh decided to cast it now.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, apparently.
Please go in the chat and trash on Fresh right
honestly. Now. Effing chat for Fresh's IQ, honestly, because I wasn't.
Honestly, yeah, fair enough. I can't argue it. I really cannot.
Yeah,
not at all.
Alrighty, so while you guys are voting, I'd like to take a moment to talk about our sponsors, Balls Guarana. Balls is a crisp, super caffeinated soda infused with the naturally energizing guarana berry.
I mean, come on, guys. Energy drinks are for noobs. Come on. We all know this. Who needs energy drinks? Balls is fuel for the fun. You know what I mean? It gives me that energy. When we won season 12 on the Express, we got a case of Balls Guarana as a winner. And let me tell you, when I got that case, which I actually never did because I put in the wrong address on accident, it was very rewarding. And I still never got it. I'm still looking at whoever it was that messaged me. It was so long ago. But it's worth it. I mean, I love that stuff. It's one of the best energy drinks I've had personally. I've had all the different types, but like Balls is just, it makes me feel better when I have it compared to, I don't know if y'all get what I mean, you know, like Fresh and Flips, like it makes you feel better, where like some energy drinks just make you feel like you're on just freaked out.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely feel that way. Sometimes when I'm drinking some energy drinks, it just makes my heart pump too much, and I just don't know how to get out all that energy. It's like, oh, pure creatine, it's better for you. Like, I don't know that. What does creatine mean?
Fair enough.
What is working out? We're Rocket League players. We sit at home in our chair. I have not left this chair since 3 p.m. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys.
I can't say I did that either, but I didn't.
Yeah, hit good clips and you get some free gamer juice. That's what we're telling you guys right now.
That's honestly some free gamer juice right there. Come on. That does not mean do not cut your teammate to go for a play when you have 0 boost. I tell you right now, the amount of teammates I've had in the past who took that to heart and then just stopped playing team ball. Don't do it.
Yeah,
it's really annoying.
Take it from the PL player. Don't cut your teammates, honestly. Like, it's not just nice. We don't do that. We play team ball here in MLE. You know, everything about this league is built around the fact that it's a community, and like someone cutting their teammate to go for a clip, which is most likely probably going to be me, because I'm like, ooh, ball, this would be really cool, and then I completely forget that I'm like third man. So yeah,
You say like you know that from experience.
Listen, I don't need you to call me out. I
bet he was imagining a specific clip in his mind right there. He was like, yeah, that happened.
Exactly.
He's like drawing it out.
Honestly, like, and it is what it is. You live and learn. I'm AL for a reason. I am crawling to CL as best as I can. But unfortunately, it is like not within my reach yet. I'm not fast enough. I'm slow. I have this situational awareness of a rock. So,
fair enough.
So hopefully I get to play with my Spartans and my boys for the rest of the season.
Understandable.
Hey, at least you're on a roster, man. At least you're on a roster. Not all of us can have that feeling.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Don't hey, I jab myself. Don't worry, I jab myself to make it even.
All right, I see how it is. I see how it is.
Yeah.
So poll is almost over. We're almost, and then, I mean, like looking at the numbers in the poll,
it looks like it's pretty lopsided.
It's pretty lopsided. I mean, I don't know. We're gonna wait till it actually ends. So if you've been chat and you haven't voted yet, go ahead and vote. Please vote on your phones, vote on your tablets, vote on your laptops, vote on your iPads, vote on your Roku TVs. Vote on your Google Voice. I swear if mine starts talking, I'm going to unplug it from here.
I really hope it does.
But it's pretty heavily lopsided in
really
one person's favor. Like there's not a whole lot that we could really do about that.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't argue it. I mean, that is what it is. So.
Yep, there it is. Script comes out on top with with 5 times as many votes as second place. So,
all right, Script. Please understand that you will get some balls guarana in your mouth at some point in time soon. That is all that matters.
Script. Please know that I will have a long word in email trying to get you ranked out for hitting that. I am now basically the law of getting ML players who hit too nutty of clips that I cannot hit myself and PL ranked out. So expect a long worded email to admins and mods. Thank you.
Sounds good. Now that we have all the votes in, congratulations, Script. Let's move on to power rankings.
Yeah, we're here finally. We gotta move quick though, because I can't wait to get to Sprocket though.
Oh, me too. I'm so excited to talk about Sprocket here.
Let's start with them.
Let's start with Foundation League. Let's kick it off. Simple. All right, so my top 5 teams for FL Power Rankings are the Rhinos, Hurricanes, Bears, Spartans, and Outlaws. And these teams have all gone very well in at least one style. So I believe the Hurricanes are like 9-1 in 2s. Rhinos might be 9-1 in 2s as well, but I think it might be in 3s. But all these teams are top contenders, all within the top 8, and they are just really bashing out on all the other teams. And that is why I have them in my power rankings right here.
And the PRC will release their own opinions, but like
ours are more important. We actually get to talk about
ours are where it's at. You feel me? No diss on the work that the PRC does. We all love them and we appreciate the time that they volunteer to actually comb through stats and make a very competitive rank. But like memes. So the AL Power Rankings, as OpenNet Podcast has said it, is the first team overall, best team in the league right now, the Compasses.
Woo! Compasses!
Let's go.
We love the Compasses.
We love the Compasses. They're just great. Absolutely great. They are 8-2 in 2s or 1. I don't remember if it's 2s or 3s. I close out of the thing, but they're absolutely killing it. Their goal differential is above 20, if I remember correctly. So they are absolutely cracked on the offensive side. Then we got the Foxes, Tyrants, my Spartans, and the Knights coming in at 4th and 5th. So these are my teams to watch out for. These are the teams that I think got the most going for them right now. So let's keep an eye on these teams.
Absolutely. Lamel, look at us. We're so cute together.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, who really are? Bro, you didn't know that? Come on. Come on, bro. We're so cute. Come on. All right, guy, get into CL. We're distracted.
Sorry.
Get into CL. Stop talking about yourself. Stop talking about yourself.
All right. Okay. So same thing as before. I started looking at the different styles that the teams were going for. So my top 5 for CL are going to be Pirates, Blizzard, Shadow, Express, and Pandas. And I know before I had Express as an A tier on my power rankings, but I decided to drop them down a little bit because they had a couple rank outs. And I don't think that they're as powerful yet, but we are yet to see because they did rank out after week 2 and we had a bye week. So that is yet to come. They might go higher, but as of right now, I have them a bit lower on my power rankings.
Absolutely. Understandable. I mean, CL is just so weird because you have so many people rank up from AL, but you also have so many rank up into ML, and you're just like that kind of like in between middle ground. And it's just going to be like interesting to see how teams, because like I promise you right now, no team is going to look the same as it does right now in CL that it will look at the end of the season. I've never seen the team just keep the whole lineup the same for the whole season. It just never happens because players just improve so quickly. But it's understandable for sure. But with that, I guess I could take it into ML. ML, I kind of want to look at more of a neutral standpoint because, again, there were 2 10-0 teams through 2 weeks. Very impressive. Over divisional rivals, you go 10-0. Very important. But that's not what I'm going to look at. They are in my top 5, but they aren't my top team. My top team is the Tyrants, actually. They're the 2 8-2 lineups. I just love their roster and how they've performed in those opening matches, and they're not really putting themselves in a hole for one of them. We see so many teams kind of dig themselves a grave and will at least just say, oh, we're only going to focus on this one. Tyrants clearly show they want to succeed in both and be one of the first teams ever to win in both leagues in the same season. I'd really love to see it, or both modes. I've never seen it before. I'd love to see a team do it. Tyrants definitely set them up. Following that, I have the Lightning and the Bulls, 2 also good teams. Lightning are the 10-0 team in doubles. They're going to be interesting too to watch. I hope they figure it out in standard because, again, they're a little shaky on it. They have a win and a loss. I mean, gotta work on it a little bit, but I think it's recoverable. Bulls on the other end of the spectrum, they are just kind of all around. They're 9-1 in threes, 5-5 in twos. Also got to look at them and say, hey, you got to fix a few things, and we'll see how you do. Then I have the Shadow, and then I have the Bears. Shadow, very interesting. I think they're a team that they're 7-3 in both modes. Definitely a team that can clearly be around that level of Tyrants. I think they got to prove themselves a little bit more. And then the Bears, 10-0 standard, 4-6 in doubles. I got proof. And many people are wondering, where are the Jets? Why are they on my list? Fun fact, Dead Sea, the amazing player of ML ranked out. Jets, I'm sorry, but your season is going to be very impossible now, I feel like. Good luck. I have very little faith, but I really hope y'all prove me wrong. And I hope y'all's pickup for replace him is just as good as he was because he's a really hard player to replace. But they're on my top 10, don't worry, but they got a little bit of work to do without Dead Sea.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for our power rankings as of right now.
Hold on.
Sorry,
are you forgetting
about
my league?
Oh, my
apologies. PL. We don't
I just forgot it. Half of PL left already, so I'm just saying.
They're picking me already, my dude. They're already asking me what I have for this and waiting for my every word. I'm going to go through it quick, though. I mean, number 1, I got to go with the Spartans. I love their roster. I know they lost to the Blizzard in threes, but I love the Spartans kind of core. I think their top 3-4 is just the best in the league still, even if they have a couple losses here and there. But they're doing great on the standings, 7-3 and 6-4. Number 2, I have the number 2 and 3. I have the Rhinos and the Hive. I think both could flip. I think it all comes down to their later matches this season. Rhinos are top of the they both are tied at 14 and 6 in the combined standings. But I like the Rhinos more because I think they have a more top to bottom roster than the Hive do. And plus, they have the same record in both modes. Hive a little lacking in threes. And then 3 and 4, I have the Ducks and the Blizzard. The Ducks prove me wrong. I'm sorry, Alex, for you called me out on it at Worlds. I am so wrong. Y'all clearly, Beat and Sully have been much better than I expected. They are clearly going to be a strong duo to play against. It kind of, you don't want to play against them if you're an opponent. And then 4-5 with the Blizzard. I think getting that win over the Spartans last week and kind of showing they can compete with the top team, I think that keeps them in the 5 spot. I think the other team to watch for sure will be the Flames. The issue with the Flames was you're 3-7 in standard, my man. You got to fix that. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Now that we're finished with power rankings, let's move on to the top 3 performers of each league. Starting with FL, we have Stick from the Bears. Stick from the Bears, he had an amazing past couple of weeks. he has some of the highest scores total in FL right now. Let me take a look at them real quick. It's being brought up by Metabase. He has a total score of 5,034 in doubles and 2,931 in standard. And out of the 20 games he played, he won 12 of them. So that's a really good ratio. Everything fun stuff like that. So I think he's going to be an amazing player. Definitely top right there. My next one is going to be Nim from the Hurricanes. Nim from the Hurricanes also had an amazing past couple of weeks. And I believe that Nim actually went 19-20 for game wins. And then my last one is going to be Captain Cole from the Dodgers. He was also a very high scoring player. I think he had one of the top amount of goals throughout the past couple weeks.
Yeah, the FL, props to the FL players. All of them have been absolutely killing it, and seeing them grow in the way that they have over the course of the past, I don't know, 6-7 months. And a lot of the players that I've seen in FL come up to AL, and I know a couple of them are already gone to CL already. Well, I'm still stuck here. Props to all of them. Y'all are absolutely killing it. Going on to AL, number one overall, most influential player in the league right now, T-Brock, hands down from the Bulls. Has absolutely nothing to oppose him. Not in scrims, not in matches, not in teammates. Like for the opponents for the Bulls this week, that's their biggest problem is T-Brock playing on any roster. It's going to be absolutely wild. Then you got my boy Haku. This one actually isn't even biased. This is just stat chasing. Haku is statistically like the second or third highest, rated player in the league, and we're going to be sad to lose him and eventually here soon, but he's one of my most influential players in the league. And then third, we got our boy QB from the Hawks, another really, really heavy hitter in the mid third. Just absolutely, he's got really good control, and really he's just a solid player all around the pitch.
Absolutely. I definitely played with QB a little bit when I was in AL, and I thought he'd rank up by now. To be honest, he was really solid, has some great skills, and is on his way up. So moving on to CL, we have Lack from the Foxes. Lack from the Foxes makes it look easy. He is dropping 6 MVPRs in league games. It is incredible. He's an amazing player, very influential, and I could definitely see him bringing the Fox up this season. Number 2, I'm going to have Boostin from the Blizzard. He is also a great player, doing really well in league matches, and that is where it counts. And my third is going to be Trampling Cow from the Pirates. The Pirates have a great roster this season in CL, and Trampling Cow is one of the reasons for that. Understandable for sure. I think going in from CL again, these are guys who stuck around in CL last season, and now it's gonna be intriguing how long they'll take before they rank out, and if they make it to playoffs, how are they gonna do? But going from that, I'll take it into ML. Number 1 is gonna be Pops Ryan from the Lightning, dude who I played a lot with when I was in ML. He's clearly a top level player. He's been outstanding so far at the top of this season for the Lightning. I mean, again, Lightning undefeated in 2s, team you gotta keep an eye on. Number 2, we got Bracking Elf 22 from the Tyrants. Again, a lot of these guys are guys who have really led their teams to these impressive starts like they have. Unbracking has played in a majority of their series and is a big reason why they have such a good position to start this season. And then number 3, I have Zera of the Sabres. Now, a team we haven't heard a lot about. Sabres a little quieter, but he's a guy who's really been the forefront of this team. I hope he ends up staying around because they're going to need him if they want to make a big run in this season. But he's been definitely a big front runner for sure. And then I'll keep it again. I guess no one's going to comment on that. I'm going to go into PL. The big guys in PL are guys who really played a lot and kind of continued their continuous level of high level, because a lot of guys had one good week and then fell off. Handy is number 1. Dude stepped up huge for the Rhinos, a lot more than I expected, especially in 2s. He's doing on the top 10 in MVPR for 2s. Not what I expected at all. And he's clearly going to show that he's going to be one of the front runners for MVP in the PL for sure. Number 2 is Vazoom. Vazoom, everyone talked about Knuckle getting drafted to the Spartans. Vazoom has really been their catalyst this season. He's had a great start. He's a big reason they've won most of their series and been heavily involved in these lineups that have really dominated in their respective modes. And then number 3, I have J. Ken. I know he's not had this, again, Flames have not had the best start personally, but he's number 1 in MVPR in 2s with over a 7. I mean, in PL, that's very impressive.
in threes, hopefully get some help around him where he can really show this level of talent that he has. But I think right now these other two players have shown that they could do it with a little less help. I think that he's going to have a big question mark around him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, these are the players that we got together before the stream and talked about and said these are the heaviest hitters in the league. So props to all of you guys that we mentioned. Keep up the good work.
Don't break out.
Absolutely.
Your teams are begging you.
Guess what?
Yeah.
It's time.
It
is time.
It is time. Okay, let's get right into it. Sprocket, boys. Sprocket.
Let's go.
We are done. Why? My camera is raging right
Dude,
now
it's
because of how much we're. Oh my god.
Sprocket.
Oh my! I'm raging. Oh, it's gone.
Oh, it's gone. All
it's
right.
gone. Oh, and it's okay. Okay.
All right.
Well, I went too hard in Sprocket. I'm sorry, computer.
Okay, it's fine. Let's bring the Sprocket boys out.
Oh my god.
Hopefully Flips will get it all fixed up.
Yeah,
let's go ahead and
bring it up right here.
Bring. We got Zach and Shuckle from the MLE community who are developers for the Sprocket bot.
Welcome.
They're going to join us here. When
how are y'all doing? I mean, y'all have had. We cannot lie to y'all, chat. They've been winging in the background, waiting for us to get to this for like 40 minutes. So
they really have.
How are y'all doing?
Are y'all?
How are y'all doing? This evening.
Doing great. Enjoying the podcast.
Yeah, it's been good. I'm excited to show you the real player rankings. We've got some top picks from us that we'll get to later, and we'll see how you did.
Oh, I don't know.
Can you beat the MLE Open Net crew though?
You can't argue with science.
Yeah, you can't argue.
Yes, you can. I can find ways to argue with science. Natural opinionating has led me to disregard science.
If I can direct your attention to the MLE Bible.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Well, hopefully, I'm assuming Flips is gone for a minute, so I guess I can take over and lead into the questions we have while Flips figures out why his camera just died. But let's start this off with y'all. What is Sprocket? Like, what did y'all create? And you have such an awesome name. I love the name for it. But like, what is it? And kind of explain.
So basically, Sprocket is going to be the platform that MLE is going to use to manage and automate the league. And we're making it in general, not just for MLE, but for any organization that wants to run an esports league like this. So back in the old days of MLE, everything was done manually with spreadsheets and people sending spreadsheets around and that kind of stuff. And then I think last season or 2 seasons ago, we released what we called MLEDB, which moved all that spreadsheet stuff into databases. And we had the Discord bot that had all the scrims and everything. That has been an okay system. It was awesome when it first got released, and it's starting to show its age, and it's not working as well. So we're working on a newer system called Sprocket that is going to hopefully alleviate all of the problems with Emilio and Emilia, and also add some really cool new features.
So before everybody gets excited, Sprocket is not a Discord bot. Sprocket has a Discord bot. But a lot of the workflows that we're used to, like scrims and things like that, are not going to be in Discord, and that's a good thing. A lot of what we see where like scrims freeze or replay submissions get broken or stuck, way easier to fix outside of Discord. And so we're going to see a lot of those pain points kind of ease up a little bit and hopefully cease to be pain points as we transition.
Understandable. Totally understandable. Well, I think Flips, I think you're back. I think you're alive.
I am back. Welcome back to me. I am alive after my camera had a seizure from talking about Sprocket. It was just so excited.
Dude, it was. I don't know what to tell you.
Honestly, all of the MLE community is so excited about it.
Nah, Shuckle showed up and his raw presence crashed your computer.
Honestly.
Dude, man, yeah, come on, bro.
The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Just totally crashed everything. I have to rebuild my PC now, guys. Come on.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like.
Yeah. All right. I guess we can lead that into the next question. So, I mean, obviously, we've had Emilia, the lovely panda bot herself in our amazing Discord. But, why do you think Sprocket is a lot better than the current system we are using in MLE?
Yeah, so I mean, kind of like I alluded to, using Discord as a platform is great because it's really tightly coupled. You don't have to leave the MLE community server to do a lot of things. But like it also kind of places constraints on how you can interact with everything, like we were talking about. Doing real-time interactions like you see with scrims, you run into a bunch of problems where Discord has rate limits and you have to be able to keep track of things, like the messages, and then update them, notify everybody properly. And it really just doesn't scale past a certain point. And MLE has definitely grown like since it was implemented. Discord has changed, which has influenced things as well. And so kind of breaking apart from that platform and not being so tightly tied to it is just going to give us a lot more control to implement cool features. And we're doing the same thing like with ball chasing. We love ball chasing. They do a great job. How many times can everybody watching remember when scrims got paused because ball chasing had a problem? So we actually have, and it will start to get phased in. We're going to be doing replay parsing ourselves, which we'll talk about a little bit as well, because there's some really, really cool stuff the team is cooking up with that.
Awesome. That's amazing to hear. We're really excited, although sad to give up EMILIA. We had a really long run, a really emotional roller coaster of a relationship with EMILIA, you know, but it's just gotta
It
end.
had its highs and it had its lows, but ultimately
it's like any relationship,
decision that it was best if we parted ways and saw other people, you know, or other scrim bots or whatever you want to call them.
Well, it's my hope that you know, I remember when EMILIA came out. Does anybody remember Four-Mans?
I miss it so much.
Four-Mans was great.
I miss it. So I kid you, I've been in Four-Mans like forever back when I joined, and that's like if I was on like a Saturday night, I was doing Four-Mans. I love that stuff. Miss you, Fridge.
If we look at Four-Mans, like everybody switched to the new scrim bot after it came out, and it really like. We saw revitalization in the community. There was way more activity. And so we're really hoping that like as Sprocket comes out, we'll see something similar where it's not going to be a like I have to switch to this new system. It's going to be like, this is way better. I can understand why we're doing this and I'm excited for this. And that's really what I hope that we see from the community.
Absolutely. I can definitely see that happening 100% because I've heard so much complaints about EMILIA within the past couple months. Everyone's just like, when's Sprocket going to come out? And we're like, we don't know.
I need a queue reset.
Yeah.
Someone didn't check in and now it's frozen.
Exactly. Okay, so getting into a little bit more specifics, what is the difference between a Sprocket rating and MVPR that EMILIA has?
So does anybody remember Four-Man's rating? And it was super cool.
I loved it.
Four-Man's rating was great, but it was complex. Unfortunately, Sprocket rating is also complex, but it approaches things a little bit differently. So MVPR is based on your shots, your goals, your assists, and your saves. And that's basically it. And it weights, I want to say assists and saves far lower than it does shots and goals. And I think that like we've all seen when we had Star of the Week a couple seasons ago, it was the players who were scoring the most goals consistently. If you were a team player, if you were like assisting or you were playing defense, you had great rotations, you saw yourself being rewarded a lot less for that in sort of those accolades. And I don't think that scoring, like we don't think that scoring is an accurate measure of what makes you a good player. If you're scouting, it's not going to do that. And so we have a graphic with our top players. And you're going to see for doubles.
That is not a graphic.
Sorry, we just wanted to present again like the amazing stuff.
We don't need to see this anymore.
Just in case you missed it the first time.
Yeah, just in case.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so we're going to see, we've got doubles and standard for each league. And I think the key thing here is we've got 3 columns. We have OPI, DPI, and Sprocket rating. OPI here is your offensive performance indicator, and DPI is your defensive performance indicator. And so I think Sprocket rating is, we average those 2. The team that works on that are way smarter than I am.
That's great.
Yeah, and if we look at like the top MVPR players, most of these don't match. Like if you were to pull the MVPR for all these players for their week 2 performances, these aren't going to be the same top players. But I think that what we see is players who are more balanced, who are equally defending and attacking, are going to float to the top in that way. And I think it just rewards players who are more team players. It's a really good system, and it indicates a much higher, or like the higher your Sprocket rating is, like the correlation with winning games is significantly like 10 to 15% higher than MVPR.
Wow.
So not only is it more inclusive of like all play styles, it also is just a better indicator in general.
And that's one of the really cool things about Sprocket is because of how much more freedom we have not being on Discord, there's a lot more opportunity for showing cool statistics and even showing pretty graphs. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the ball chasing page, but if you go, you can see, you know, like how your play style compares to other play styles. We're doing a lot of similar things like that. And one of the things that I'm most excited for is some of our data science teams, some of our data science members have been working on a shot location map, like a heat map. So like a picture of the goal, and then it'll highlight the areas where a player shoots most often, or maybe like where they have most of their saves, that kind of stuff. So some really cool visualizations are going to be possible, and so we're really excited to have that stuff out.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
so
if
cool. if I might butt in, because I do have like an impromptu question that wasn't on the list. So I noticed one of my biggest grievances with EMILIA that I kind of saw was that a player who maybe played extremely well, in my opinion, had a large problem with like losing games and then not getting a high enough MVPR or not getting enough ELO, because it didn't matter if they played at their best and they played really well and they were really impactful, that if they weren't winning games, then their ELO didn't go up. So is Sprocket still heavily dependent on wins and losses, or do you feel like it has more of a balance of how you actually played versus other players?
So, you know, I can't talk about ELO a lot.
No, I know you can't, but what I mean is it still going to be leaning, quote unquote, in the direction of wins and losses like MMR and ELO does, or is it more leaning toward a rating based on your gameplay?
So what I can say right now is, at least I would say through like season 15 and maybe into 16, ELO will not change. It's going to be the same system. Now, once we have everything moved over, because I mean, we have, like, when we talk about like Sprocket coming out, it's going to be scrims and league play submissions. And then past that, we're going to have like roster management. We're going to have player dashboards with all the stats that Zach was talking about. Like, there's a ton of other stuff. And because there are so many systems that either don't work or need to be repaired, like those kind of take priority. But as we start to gather that data, as we start to use our own replay parsers, the flexibility with which we can tune ELO to try to make it more equitable in that way definitely increases.
Yeah. Gotcha. So there will be a change, but there's not going to be a change till later on. Got it. That makes me happy, because I mean, I know like there's a lot of games where I feel like there was one series I played where I had like 9 or 10 saves, but I only had 1 goal and I lost 2 games and my MVPR was like 1.2, you know? And then I had someone else on the opposing team that had, you know, 6 goals, but no assists, no saves, no like 6 shots or whatever. And they had like this ungodly MVPR because they won the games and they had 6 goals, and that just blew them out of the water. And I'm like, you know what? That's not like ideal, because that doesn't mean, because like now this player is going to go up to CL and I'm still stuck down here, unfortunately. But, you know, I'm not complaining. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I'm going to say, it sounds like you're just now like really going on about your scrim experience where a guy just outplayed you.
Yeah, you know what? I get outplayed all the time, but you know what? It's more of like I was trying to figure out and wrap my mind around the fact that how the system works and not how it's calculated, not like the specifics, but like what the reasoning for what variances are and whatnot, and I don't know how to explain it.
What I'd like to do here real quick is, if you guys think you could take on Fresh in a 1v1, put a thumbs up in the chat. I want to see how many people
don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I already knew, like, Fallen is in chat, Zach V's in chat, I see Mallow is in chat, Phoebe's in chat. Like, I really do not need to be put on trial for this. Like, I'm going there we go. I'm a dead man. Like I am gold 3 and 1s. Don't oh no, it's Shuckle. Why did you do that? This is horrible.
It is. That is interesting though, because I have thought about, like, because I have had series where, like, the lowest player MVPR wise goes 4-0 in a 3 series. Is that like something Sprocket's really gonna kind of go against? Could be like, hey, like, we don't really care that you went 4-0 undefeated in a series if you didn't really do the work for it, and that's really what's going to show up more, I'm assuming.
I think it's going to be. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So that's what that kind of leads into how we have the separate offensive and defensive performance indicator, and their average to get your Sprocket rating, right? And so defense will definitely have much more of an impact. And not only just looking at saves, but also looking at more advanced statistics to get insight into how effective you were on defense, right? There's and see that's one of the things that I'm personally am so excited for about Sprocket is it gives us so much more freedom to explore all these new statistics, really advanced stuff like field positioning, or how close or far you are from the ball, your spacing with teammates, investigating double commits maybe, where you are on the field versus where the optimal position may be. Like the sky is the limit, really. So the more advanced we get with our statistics, the better our performance indicators can be.
Got it. I have one quick question about this. So I see a lot of comments in the Twitch stream saying, will demos and clears also center balls, would those have an effect? Or are you guys not allowed to talk about that?
I think that is a question for like Golden Tornado or the team that's like working on that, like our data science team.
Yeah. I thought, Shuckle, I thought that every demo you get multiplies your Sprocket rating by 2.
No,
you're right. I thought that's how it was.
Oh no!
All right, so MLE is turning into a demolition derby.
We don't need that, honestly. Like, if anybody knows me and anybody's played with me, you know that I absolutely loathe getting demoed because it's absolutely frustrating. So, like, let's not like. In chat, Booger Bear is licking his lips.
not excited, dude. I'm not excited.
People either gonna love that or hate that. No, but that's not
right.
Okay.
I will say that.
Where's P2K? That's who I need to talk to about this. He's probably doing flips about it.
Absolutely. I will say that I know that they went through a ton of stats and a ton of weightings. Like, I don't know. This was probably like 3 months in the works, and they're working on it. This is so like Sprocket rating, like the formulas are not going to be private. Part of one of the things that we're trying to solve is letting people present their work in a way that with MLEDB you couldn't do as much. So hopefully in the near future, soon TM, we'll have like a presentation of some sort where you can like read about it. And like just kind of see the stats, see the process, like go with them on the journey from like how do we rate players in a way that is not just weighting these core stats in a more meaningful way, all the way from start to finish.
And that also kind of ties into another awesome thing about Sprocket is that it's all open source. With the exception of ELO, because that's the secret special sauce. Everything is open source. All of the code for everything is on our GitHub. It's public right now and will continue to be public. So if you want to know how something works, like Sprocket rating, it's there. And also, if you know how to code, or if you are interested in learn how to code, and you think of a way to improve Sprocket rating or something else, and you can back it up with math or statistics, and we think it's a good change, then I mean, it can make it into the code base, and you know, it's open source, and anybody is welcome and encouraged to contribute in any way you can.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, I think that covered the exact question I was about to ask.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, can I kind of add like one little thing? Is like how much more are you trying to like grow your community of Sprocket? Like how much are you trying to add on to it? Like are you like really trying to get a lot more people to join your committee or like crew that's really helping develop this? Or is it more like you're being very selective and like saying, hey, we're only looking for someone with this type of resume and this type of experience kind of to join our team?
So it's a case-by-case basis, but honestly, we are very accepting, and we are, you know, very open to help at any skill level. And that goes for developers or designers, people that want to help out with social media, any of that, because we've got a lot to do and not a lot of people to do it. So by all means, if you're interested, please join our Discord server. Shuckle, if you have the link and want to throw that in Twitch chat, definitely join our Discord server and connect with us, and we'll find you a way you can help out. We also have a Twitter account if you want to follow that. We tweet, you know, spicy memes and pictures of our developers' workstations and cool stuff like that, as well as feature updates and what the roadmap looks like. So, yeah, connect with us. We'd be glad to.
Yeah, and I'll throw in there, it's not just developers that like help out. We have a growing design team who you know, are helping us design the platform itself and the graphics and things like that. It's definitely one of those, you don't need to have experience to come in and help out. Shout out to Hospitable. She actually made the graphic that we showed earlier, and when she came in, she was like, I want to help, but I've never done any design work. And now, like, nice. She's spitting out quality graphics like that.
That's really motivating.
That shows everyone here that they can do whatever they put their mind to.
Absolutely.
Right? She just went in and asked and said, "Hey, I'm interested, but I don't know anything yet."
And it's just it's so awesome that like we have members in the community like y'all who've made this effort and gone out there. You know, we've seen it with other people in the past of MLE who've gone and done and made greater things for the community, not just MLE itself. And it's great to see more people like yourselves get to do that. So it's really awesome that y'all are letting people get this opportunity for sure.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the open source things too, is like whether it's design or you're doing data science or you're writing code, at the end of it, like you helped out the community, you helped build something great, and you've got something to show for it.
Like, and it's not even just MLE either. It's MLE and any other Rocket League, that's funny to say, that you know wants to use this bot as their scrim system, so they can set it up however they want. You know, they can do an open league like RLCS where you just pick players and whatever teams, run it like IGL, UR, Crystal, I forget how many. There's so many leagues that could utilize this system, and it's just a great thing to happen. We really appreciate all of the work that you guys do for it, because you're making our home, the league, a better place, and it's absolutely great.
Yeah, that was amazing. Thank you so much for the information. We're going to keep you guys around, and we are going to go into Guess the Salary. This is being brought back again. Everyone loves it. We love it.
Back by popular demand. Let's go.
Exactly.
Come on. You can't have a good old Guess the Salary. Come on.
Yep.
And now we got the guys who apparently use science to figure out people's ranks. So let's see if y'all can do it now. So
don't even worry.
I want to see a pen and paper out, just like calculating.
Yeah, they're doing some math on like a notebook.
We're just gonna rank everybody into PL. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Yeah.
Everybody is now 20 salary.
Perfect.
Sounds about right.
He looks at the clip and he's like, if you look at the trajectory of the moon and the sun and divide it by the height of the grass, you can tell this man is a 12 sal.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, let's go ahead and roll the first clip. Who we got?
Yep.
Okay, a little air roll on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I want to know who picked these team colors though. Ooh,
what a save!
That was good. He's gonna make it back. Oh,
okay.
Recovery.
Okay.
Oh, he went all the way back for corner boots though instead of grabbing the.
Yeah, he's kind of driving her all over the place, really fast, but doesn't really know where he's going.
Yeah, he's got all the speed and nowhere to be.
Okay.
The issue for me is like you could tell like there's clearly like not a lot of chemistry between Iron teams because they're just not really like working with each other at all. It's just more of like I'm near the ball, I have to go, and they're all doing it. Definitely on the leads.
This reminds me of like that mid diamond where you have the people who can carry themselves on their mechanics because they spent 500 hours in free play. But then you throw another player on the field that's on their team, and they're just like, I'm gonna go for the ball anyways.
Exactly. Honestly, I have to pull up what the salaries are because I always forget what league is what salary, so I'm gonna pull it up. Y'all go ahead.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add about that clip?
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my 2 cents in. I noticed a lot of potential, but like not a lot of consistency with the touches. Like they knew to go for this and they knew to recover, but then when they got a hold of the ball, they didn't know what they were doing with it. So I'm gonna say that is an 11-5.
11-5.
So Fresh thinks it's an 11-5. Not many people in the Twitch stream think the same. I'm seeing a lot of 13-5s to 10s.
13-5. Wow.
Yeah, that seems a little high.
I was gonna say 13 actually.
Wow.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's low champ league, and if I'm remembering correctly, I think that is.
I'm gonna go 11.
11.
Yeah. Zach's gonna go 11. Okay, and Luke, last one to decide. What
I'm
do you think?
I'm gonna go top of. I think this is a 12 because the ability to make some of those saves. I think he's a guy where clearly he thinks he can do everything, so he's just gonna go for a lot of these hard saves and be like, "Guys, why'd y'all not help me?" Yeah, blah blah blah. I think it's a 12.
Okay. Alrighty, so we have Fresh 11.5, Shuckle at a 13, Zach at an 11, and a 12 from Luke. Let me tell you guys right here. I think we're gonna have to rank this guy up because he is a 10 cell.
That's a 10. That's understandable. I think it's definitely Academy League. He's definitely
that's Foundation League, my friend.
That's top of Foundation. And one thing I noticed is while you guys were talking, you're like, you're right, there's no connections. And when I went from FL to AL, I definitely felt the difference in the passing plays. And that's one thing why I could kind of see why it's a 10 cell. There's no passing plays going on with the team, no real connections, just a lot of single man gaming.
Did you was that what you were gonna guess, Flips? That's my question.
No, I don't know. I'm at a bias because I know them already. So
okay, you do know what they are. Okay, I was intrigued. I was like, I was hoping like you were like, oh, I knew that. You did. I didn't have to say it, but I just.
Well, somebody's got to know.
Somebody.
You got me there.
The game wouldn't be any fun if we didn't know if we were right or wrong. So like, we're gonna take away your fun, Flips, and we're all gonna have fun without you.
I'm just the fun sponge. Okay, so let's roll the second clip.
Oh, nice. I like the fact that they knew to not just bang it once they got within the top of the box, that they actually took a touch to get it up and over the last defender. That was good.
Looks like an attempt at a speed flip kickoff too. So
yeah, I would say the kickoff helps a lot because a lot of players in low those
kind of a try hard car, try hard boost too. We got the white flamethrower maybe.
White standard, yeah. That's
well, standard. Nothing wrong with try hard, but that kind of, the lower your rank is, generally the crazier your car is.
Yeah, they got like the peanut topper with like rainbow wheels.
Hey, don't say that, bro. My man, T-Man will get on you with the cockroach topper. You don't go hard. You don't go wrong with the
Okay.
I'm definitely seeing like good ball control, and right there they definitely try to play too fast. They got to a point where they're trying to play too fast. They got too confident.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a really that one could be Lily. That could be MLPL or it could be just CL having a good day.
I'm gonna let it ride.
Or FL peaking. You never know. Like it could
if
go.
If that's FL,
way.
Bro, I need to go down to FL. I want to be honest. I should be an FL. That's an FL.
I'm gonna go with a solid 14.
So 14 from Zach.
Yeah, and I'm gonna let it ride. 13.
13 from Chuckle.
Oh, I guess it's my turn. I liked what I saw. They're better than me, but I'm still gonna put them at 13-5.
13-5.
I think that's a that's a 15-5. I think that's ML. I think that's low
getting up
ML. That's enough of the plays by both teams was enough where like you could recover enough to be ML.
I see. Okay, so that very near. You guys are pretty near each other this time. This first clip, you guys were a bit like radicalized, but here we have very standard like 14 Sal. That's what you got.
14. Wow.
That's
No.
That was right.
That's what you guys
pretty close
for. But the true Sal was an 11-5.
No, it's not. No, it's not. That is
out.
not 11-5.
Absolutely not.
No, it's not.
I am a 12 Sal that just admitted to an 11-5 being better than me. Take that back. Take that back.
Wait, who was it? I didn't know who that was.
No, we can't tell you who it was. We're not going to tell you who it is.
All I know is it's an 11-5.
Wow.
And
that's an 11. Compared to the last clip, this dude was 5 times better than the dude in the first clip.
I definitely saw the control difference for sure.
I don't know, Luke. Maybe you're just washed. Like,
I mean, that is possible. I'm not arguing that. I was literally I can't even play good right now. I can't argue that. But that's wow, man. I wish I was like at an 11-5. Wow, that's impressive.
All righty. Well, now that we know that, let's move into the third clip.
What are
that
these
camera angle?
What is this camera setting? They're I feel like they're driving an RC car from the top of the Empire State Building. Like, all right, I don't even know.
I ran with these for a while because if you have that camera angle, it makes ground plays really easy. Because you can see over the ball, and I was a plat at the time, so that might educate the choice here. But it definitely, I have never been as good at some of the ground like challenges while dribbling since I changed the settings.
Oh no, he did not. Woo!
That was a clean double.
This one
entirely accidental.
This one,
sure.
I feel like we're gonna be very split up on this one. This one could really go around the big spectrum on this.
I'm thinking higher Sal. Like early on in the clip, we saw the player come off the ceiling, and that's something you don't typically see unless you're early CL consistency. And the knowledge to go for the balls that they're going for and the shots that they're going for, I'm gonna go ahead and say 16.
6.
Oh.
Whoa,
Wow.
that's higher than I was expecting to go.
I think I'm gonna shoot for a 13.
Hey, that's my number.
13.
Can't take it 3 times in a row.
Wow, it's Rocket Boys, man. They got some math in the background.
I pulled the average salary.
Yeah, you're right.
The most people of any salary are 13.
So you're not actually making the decision based on what you think. You're just
they're
take the
legitimately
statistically highest.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't make that up because
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good strategy. That's got to be. I just don't see that being ML. I think that's around a 14.5 probably. That's why I say 14.5.
Okay, so we have pretty solid around that same area. Well, guys, sorry to disappoint clip number 3, but clip number 3 was a 16.5.
No, bro.
Let's go.
Oh, that's so
Are y'all
upsetting.
purposefully picking these clips that like don't make any
100
sense at all?
Absolutely.
You should have seen the one 2 weeks ago when we had the what was it?
Now
A
that I'm
15
thinking about
Sal
it,
that like whiffed on the goal line and everybody thought it was a 10-5.
I think I know who that was too. I'm not gonna say it, but I have a good idea. I think I knew who that was. Now that I saw those camera settings.
Damn.
Yeah, it was really funny. We clipped it and everything, so
man,
it's great.
Man, if I was lying to you when I said, if I could lie to you and say like, oh man, this guy was playing way better than the 12, I wish I could, or the 11.5, I wish I could. The 11.5 still played better in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's cracked.
But yeah, I mean,
this is my friend Justin. He's cracked. He's already taken.
Yeah. Come on, give us an easy one, Flips. You're making this too hard on us.
Yeah,
that was it. That was great.
Final clip.
My.
Guess the salary. And honestly, it was really fun seeing you guys fail so bad on listing those clips.
Except for me on the last one.
We're gonna make you guess next time.
Next
You're gonna
time
guess next time.
Okay.
You'll be guessing. We'll see
True.
how you do.
For sure. Alrighty. Well, moving on from that, I would like to officially announce the MLE RLCS gift card winners. I know a lot of people sent in their submissions and everything like that. If you guys didn't see, oh, there we go. We got Luke representing Furia.
Yep, come on, brother. World's gang. Come on. World's gang.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Alrighty. So before I say anything, each winner is going to get a $20 gift card or voucher of their choice to Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation. And I cannot stress this enough. Winners will be contacted by MLE within the next 24 hours. So if you are a winner, don't do anything. Just wait for a DM. You will be contacted. We don't need you guys spamming LO about it, okay? Please don't do that. That would be...
don't open suspicious links, please.
Yes, don't click on suspicious links, guys.
Stop clicking links, for the love of God.
Of course.
I swear. Okay, so gift card winner number 1 is going to drumroll Kyozo from the Wizards.
There you go.
Congratulations, Kyozo. You get 1. And the next one is going to be Phoebe from the Elite.
There we go, Phoebe. Yep. Everybody loves Phoebe. Honestly, just round of applause for Phoebe. That was painfully quiet, you guys.
That was. I mean, there's only 5 of us. I don't know.
True.
I wanted one of these gift cards. I don't know if I'm supposed to clap for this or not.
And then number 3 is going to be Solus from the Knights. I'm not sure if it's Solace or Solus, but Solus, you won. Sorry, not last. The 4th one is going to be I Am DZ, also from the Knights. So I guess Knights just had a really good day today for getting picked in the gift card.
Scripted to me.
I know there must be kind of sus. And the last one is going to be Stoofy from the Comets. Congratulations, guys! You guys are going to get a $20 gift card. Wait to be contacted by MLE within the next 24 hours. And good job, I guess.
Congrats. I hope you guys had, those of you that did go and everybody that did go, I hope you guys had fun at Worlds. I really wanted to be there. We had this whole thing where we thought about getting a hold of you guys while you were at Worlds and doing so. I don't know. But
yeah, Odd had a really cute idea. It's just we were like, this is too much effort. We're not going to do this.
Let's just enjoy the week. Like, what are you going to do, right? I mean, the other thing that I do want to note before Flips inevitably cuts me off and tells me I have to end the show. Next week, Flips, you know what we're talking about next week, right? You know what we're talking about next week?
What are we talking about?
ELO versus MMR. I have been waiting for that conversation because I have so many questions.
Yeah, it's a topic you gotta be scared about.
Yeah, honestly.
It's the life-changing MLE topic. Honestly, everyone's MLE rating is going to be changed. It's going to be amazing, or scary even at times. So I can't wait to talk about it.
Exactly, for sure.
Alrighty, given that, I'd like everyone to say their last goodbyes to the amazing stream we had today.
Thanks for having us, everybody. One more time, I'm going to drop the Discord link and our Twitter. Go follow us, like, subscribe, retweet, remix, refit, whatever the latest.
Smash that notification bell.
There you go. That's what I was missing.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
No comment on God, or whatever the kids say these days.
And also, thanks for having us on, y'all. It was nice to chat about Sprocket and answer some questions.
Of course, absolutely. Alrighty, well, thank you everyone for staying on the Twitch stream for so long, and have a great night. Catch you guys later.